Okay, hi, welcome to this walkthrough video for the final version of my construction measurement software. Today I'm going to open a drawing, measure some walls and ceilings, get quotation prices, save the data, and then maybe have a look at the data in visual mode and in edit mode, and that's it. So first of all, let's open a file. So let's go for house design. There are other sample files there. So it takes a moment. Okay, so here's our drawing. Just run through the toolbar buttons. We've got zoom out and zoom in. It's simple zoom. We've got a navigate mode, which is a kind of neutral mode, which means you cannot interact with the drawing. We've got a pan mode, which once in pan mode, the cursor becomes a hand. Holding down the left mouse button allows you to move the drawing, and rolling the wheel gives you a smart zoom. So it doesn't just centralize the zoom, but it keeps the drawing located, the drawing location beneath the mouse pointer in the same position. So just like that. So let's reset the drawing. We've got a measure mode, which is the first time it's used is a calibration mode or a scale mode. So let's set a scale. So we stretch a line, hold down the left mouse button, let it go. So the width of the room, let's say it's 3 meters, click OK. Then we've got polygon build mode, which is what we're going to use to construct a measurement. Now the polygon build mode opens up the data bar, which we'll be using throughout the measurement. The buttons after the polygon build is, you've got a remove last polygon, you've got a remove all polygon button, you've got a line select button, which we'll be looking at, and a reset line select button. You've got the edit and visualize features up here, which is edit mode. Plus and minus allows us to flick between logged measurement groups. We've got a visual mode, which we'll look at later on. We've got a data grid view, which allows us to keep an eye on the logged measurement groups. So we've nothing in there at the moment, but we'll populate that now in a moment. And then you've got an X and Y coordinate display, an LM, a linear meter, a singular length, and an area display box here. And they display singular lengths and areas, as opposed to the data bar, which displays cumulative data. So first of all, let's construct a few polygons. These represent the areas we wish to quote for in the house. So I'm going to just quote a few rooms so that we don't take too long. So we construct polygons by clicking the left mouse button, dropping vertices on the drawing like so. Now we can zoom in and out and activate pan mode, which you can see that I'm doing at the moment. I'm moving the drawing and scrolling in and out of the drawing as I work. Now you do that by holding down the control key. So it's the same as pan mode, but it means we can enter pan mode while working on other tasks like building polygons or selecting lines or whatever else we're doing. While we're in edit mode, it works also. So we're dropping vertices by clicking the left mouse button, right-clicking the left mouse button, or right-clicking the mouse. It closes the polygons, as so, and we'll make one more. So you can take as much time at this as you wish and be as accurate as you want. I'm just moving pretty quickly here. So there's closed 3 polygons representing 3 rooms in our unit. So it's only a small job. We want to, this software is designed for quoting interior works only. So we can divide all interior works into 3 categories, and we've got to choose categories for these walls. So we've got exterior walls, which are walls that are adjacent to the outside of a building and usually need additional insulation or thermal resistance materials. We've got interior walls, which are all walls within the house which are not adjacent to the exterior, and we've got ceilings. So first of all, let's do the exterior walls. Now we've 3 polygons. We've got all representing walls. We need to, it's actually 31 linear meters are the perimeter lengths of those 3 polygons or 3 rooms. We've already scaled the drawing, so that's 31.79 linear meters. Now we need to set a height because we're speaking about walls, and we want to cost walls in units squared, meters squared. So I'm going to set a typical height, which is 2.4. We need to click the refresh button when changing the height, or shortcut is just right clicking on the drawing. That updates this perimeter by height, 76.3 meters squared for the walls. Now if we choose an option here, these are external wall options, and I'm going to go for the most expensive, 33, which is an 80mm high density insulated plasterboard mechanically fixed to blockwork, tape joint and skim finish, which is a good option. Will make for 3 very warm rooms. So €33 per square meter. Perimeter by height of the walls 76.3 meters squared with a cost of 2,517. Now we need, these are not all external walls, so if we use line select, we can remove the interior walls. And once again, you can use the pan while just by holding down the control key and clicking. The line select is pretty good. It doesn't require too much accuracy. So these blue walls have been removed from our measurement, and the data bar has updated its measurements. So now the perimeter of these 4 polygons is now only addressing these 4 red active lines. So it's 10.2 linear meters by the height of 2.4 is a perimeter height of 24.68 meters squared by the rate of 33 for the external walls is 814. So these 4 external walls are costing us 814 with a very good construction option. So we'll click this mouse button here, which is data save, and you'll see that this logged measurement group appears in our data grid view with all its details, the drawing that was used, what type category, which is an exterior wall. The option was E1, a rate of 33. The perimeter by height was 24. Interior area doesn't appear because the interior area doesn't matter when we're talking about walls, and the total cost is 814. So you'll see also that the polygon lines have deselected, and we're left with with our 3 raw polygons again. The perimeter has reverted back to 31.79 linear meters, and let's choose interior walls now. So the interior walls, let's choose an option. We have different options for the interior walls. They populate according to what category we've chosen. Again, I'll go for the most expensive, which is I6, which is screw fixed 2 number 12.5mm fire resistant plasterboards to existing timber stud partitions, tape joint and skim finish. Okay, so that's another good option. Height will remain the same, and now we need to remove these external walls, just like so, same as we did earlier. We're in our line select mode. So now we're left with only interior walls, and the data bar has updated to reflect these 4 removed walls, and our total area of the walls, the red active walls, is 51.6 meters squared with a cost €23.50 is the rate. The cost is 1,212. So let's log that data. You can see that that appears in the data grid view as it should. So that's 1,212. And finally, let's put some ceilings in here. So from the category drop down menu, choose ceilings. We'll go into options again. Let's go for the most expensive. So we'll spend as much money as we can. It's 33. So now when it comes to ceilings, we no longer worry about the perimeter for the polygons, but we're concerned with this interior area, which is the area within each polygon, which is assessed using the calibration that we set earlier on. So 20.775 meters squared by €33 is a cost of 685. What was our option again? It's a suspended MF ceiling fixed to the underside of concrete slab, 150mm acoustic insulation, screw fixed 12.5mm standard plasterboard, tape joint and skim finish. So we can just put our mouse pointer over whatever option we've chosen, and the tooltip tells us what construction option it is. We're happy with that. So €685 for our ceilings, and let's click log, and we've logged that here. We can see in the data grid view also that for the ceilings, perimeter by height registers as 0 because it's not important for a ceiling. Only the interiors, the areas of the internal of the polygons matters, which is 20.77 meters squared by our rate of 685. So okay, so let's say it's the end of the business day, and I've been measuring that house. and I'm finished for the moment. So let's save our work for working on tomorrow. So we'll go up to the File menu, choose Save Measure, and let's say it's house design measure. Let's call it 1A. Let's save it to the desktop. Click Save, and there we go. Okay, we'll put it down here, and there's one I did earlier, so we'll recycle that. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, that's that. When we come in tomorrow, we can load this file, load the drawing, load this file, and start afresh. So let's close this for the moment, and I'm going to open up a previous measurement file just to look at some of the edit features and the visualization features. So let's open the same drawing again. So house design. Okay, there we go. Now open up a measurement file, and I'm going to go for one I've done earlier, which I spent a bit more time on. This guy here, which you can see once I open the data grid view populates. There's 10 different categories, a lot of external walls, internal walls, ceilings, all with different rates and different construction options and different costings. So a bit more time spent at this, and as I say, you can spend as much time on these quotations as you're willing to spend. So we can visualize all this data by using the visual mode, which is activated here. So we click this. The data bar displays each of these logged measurement groups and the appropriate data. So we can see the walls, and we can also see the data associated with these walls in the data bar, and also using this index at the end of the data bar, we can refer to our data grid view for the full details also. The plus and minus allow us to flick through the different measurement groups, and let's stop on one just to look. So the index is 3. These are ceilings, obviously enough. In visual mode they appear opaque, filled with an opaque. The option is C5. Putting the cursor over it allows us to see that it's a suspended MF ceiling. The perimeter and the height are still there. The interior area is what's important, 27 meters squared, and the cost at €33 a square meter is 893. It's index 3, so it's 893 in the data grid view also. Now I'd like to look quickly at the edit features, which means that no matter how long you spend at a quotation, let's say you have a meeting with the client, and the client sits down and decides, you know, there's too many ceilings there. I didn't want those ceilings done. So instead of having to start the whole measurement procedures again, we should be able to just edit these measurements and all associated data on the fly without having too much trouble. So we'll just click the edit mode, which is here. That there's a change in the color scheme to reflect the build option, or the build process when we were making these measurements. So okay, we're looking at these ceilings. These are 3, so just here in our data grid view. So to remove ceilings, we just click on a ceiling, it highlights, click again, it removes. Now our data associated with that ceiling in the data bar updates automatically, including the interior area reduces because we've removed the ceiling, but also the cost. It also updates here in the data bar, so the cost has gone down to 594. And let's remove one more ceiling. Let's remove this this large ceiling here. So click once and click again, and it removes. The cost has gone down to 316, and it's reflected here also in the data grid view. So there's 2 ceilings removed. Also, let's say the client decides, you know, I didn't want those 4 ceilings at all. You can click the minus button and you can remove that entire measurement group. So it was index 3 ceilings, click this, and it's removed completely. So index 3 ceilings, it's a different ceiling category now, it's €840. So that's removed completely. Now we can flick through to our next measurement group just to look at the editing for walls. We're on index 2, which is interior walls. The option is a screw fix 12.5 on fire resistant plasterboard to existing timber stud partitions. The perimeter is 26 linear meters. The height is 2.4. Now the save process for measurement files carries over the appropriate scale. So if I scaled this drawing yesterday while making this quotation and logging all these measurement groups, the scale is carried over and I'm working with the same scale, so I don't have to rescale or recalibrate the drawing. Now, in order to alter these walls, I need only click on the wall. So once in edit mode, clicking on a wall will either remove it or put it back into the measure. So I can click here, I can put it back in, take it out, put it in. So we can see perimeter 26 linear meters. If I deselect that wall, that goes down to 24. If I deselect another, it goes down to 23, and I can zoom in as I could while building, and I can remove as many of these walls as I want, just like that. And you can see that the perimeter is reducing, perimeter by height is reducing, and obviously the cost is reducing. So we're down to 789. Let's remove a few more, like that. And okay, so we have these are interior walls. We don't have a lot of interior walls left, 3 of them, and they amount to 424 euro, which is 18 meters squared by 25 euro, which is about right. Now, let's say after removing all those, I want to make another room. So I just click on Polygon Build. Let's add a few of these walls. I'll do this and this. I'm going to go right in, be as accurate as I can. I'm doing this quite fast, so here we go. Okay, and right click to close. Now, in order to keep this polygon, I need to click data save. But first I'm going to remove, okay, so click data save. Now that polygon is saved, so if I flick to another group and come back, the polygon is still there. The same walls are deselected, and the data grid view has been updated dynamically as we went. Now I'd like to remove a few of these walls also. So we're dealing with interior walls, so let's remove these external walls. Once again, I can zoom in with the control, holding the control button. So there we go, just 2 interior walls, and the price has gone up to 706. And that's pretty much it. And we can flick through all these groups and look at them like that. I can switch off edit mode and stay in visual mode, so nothing can be edited while in here, and we can just assess our quotation that way. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.